Hey guys, it's Ebony, one half of your favorite moms from Team 2 Moms. Happy Pride Month to everybody in the LGBTQ plus community and of course our supporters. Yes, the month of June is finally here where all over the world is celebrating Pride, which is amazing. Because it's Pride Month, I wanted to do something a little bit more segmented to represent Pride Month. And so I'm doing a little mini series called Parenting with Pride. So I wanted to do this mini series to kind of share the stories of other parents within the LGBTQ plus community, and what better platform to do it but then on Team 2 Moms to be able to share that with you. Last month, I had the opportunity to attend Playlist. And at Playlist, I had the privilege to meet a woman named and a mom named Maia. And Maia's story is the first story that I would love to share with you. Maia, to me, is an amazing mom who is beautiful, brave, and courageous. And of course, I shared this with her and I made her blush.
Now I'm blushing.
She's amazing. Just give them a little, what part of the LGBT community?
Well, what I like to say is that I'm actually 2 letters in LGBT. And I usually let people guess which the 2 those are.
What those 2 are.
But I am lesbian and transgender.
Oh, that's right. Maia identifies as a lesbian trans mom who to me has an amazing story. So let's jump right into it. Maia, you have an 8-year-old son.
Actually, I have a 15-year-old son.
Oh wait, duh. You transitioned when he was 8.
Yes.
But now he is 15, which means you have transitioned for how long now?
Well, in May will be 7 years. So wait, we're in May.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been 7 years.
7 years since you've transitioned.
Since I started the process, yeah. And it was November of 2010 when I came out to my son. It was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life because, as parents, we want to protect our kids. Mm-hmm. We don't want them to feel pain or hurt in any way. Mm-hmm. And here I was completely changing his life, and it was something that was out of his control and something he probably wasn't going to want, but I had to do it anyway for my own good. And it's really, really hard to put your own self-interest first, but I remember at the time what somebody told me is that, well, better an alive transgender mom than a dead dad.
It's better to be a trans mom than a dead dad.
Yeah.
Like, that is strong. Like, wow.
Yeah, it is very strong, and really it takes something of that kind of power and depth to make you put your interests first for a little while, because the long picture is the greater good for everybody. I'm a much happier person now. As a dad, I was very frustrated and I would get angry much too quickly. My son and my ex-wife, because I was married for 15 years as well.
Yes. How did your wife? Let's touch upon that real quickly because we really want to focus on the parenting.
Right.
But because I know you guys are going to want to know, how did your wife react?
When I first came out to her, it was okay. I mean, there was of course a lot of tears. We talked over the kitchen counter, and we went over, what that could mean and how I was feeling. Mm-hmm. And that was the second hardest conversation in my life behind my son's. I actually was the person, you get back to parenting, I actually was the person who would clean the house, do the laundry, make sure my son was dressed in the morning, picked out his clothes the night before, made his lunch for him. Mm-hmm. I was my wife's wife. Mm-hmm. And although I look like her husband.
So to make a long story short, because we're not really focusing on Maia's previous marriage, more so her as being a mom, but to make a long story short, Maia and her wife, which is now her ex-wife, did get a divorce, but I'm happy to report that they are co-parenting and are still friends. Does your son call you mom or dad?
He calls me neither. When it came time for him to pick what he wanted to call us, because that's what therapists said we should allow him to do. We actually went through a whole long list, because what some trans parents do is they find a word that means mom in another language.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, wow, that's interesting to know.
Yeah, and I've had I've known some people who've combined like mommy, daddy, and call themselves Maddie.
Maddie.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. Yes,
Yeah.
I've heard Maddie. Mm-hmm.
And so we gave him all these options, and he chose to call me by my chosen middle name, because my full name is Melody Maia Monet, and he calls me Maia.
Maia. And how does that make you feel?
Sometimes it feels like he's robbing me of my public parent, identity. Because when we're out in public and he calls me Maia, it's like people automatically think that I am neither his mom or his dad. I'm a family friend. I am maybe his aunt, but not his parent. And that hurts a little. But, it's one of the sacrifices I've made to allow him to be comfortable in this new configuration of our family.
Maia's story definitely made me start to think about the configuration of our family. And Olivia's still very young, and there's a lot of challenges, so to speak, that I'm sure we can anticipate that we haven't faced yet. And it's just amazing talking to another mom who has an older child. But I wonder if Maia has ever doubted her decisions of transitioning for the sake of her son. Have you ever said, maybe I shouldn't have transitioned?
Yes, I have thought that. I think I think every transgender person has thought that at some point, because it is an incredibly tough journey in the way society is now. If I have sometimes thought that if I'd known the pain I was going to go through, that maybe I wouldn't have done it. But the alternative would probably, I don't even know if I'd be alive today, to be honest, if I hadn't transitioned. My biggest fear is that one day he's gonna get old enough to ask me some very tough questions, and right now everything is okay, but what the psychologist told us was that he's gonna understand things differently at 11 than he did at 13, than he does at 15 and 17. And when he gets married, there's going to be a conversation with his future wife and grandkids. And so this doesn't ever end. It just keeps going out into the future.
Which is also same challenges with, being a two-mom family. I mean, Olivia being only 5, there's a lot of milestones and possible challenges and obstacles that we haven't faced yet, and now we already have the twins.
Yeah.
So she's almost going to be like our litmus paper of how we go through things in life, and when she hits school and high school and all that stuff that's so scary to me. Through our channel, we hope, we haven't honestly faced many challenges yet, because again, like I said, Olivia is still very young.
Right.
So we haven't been able to kind of work through those with our audience. For you, your son is 15.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges of being a trans mom?
Probably the biggest challenge is the fact that a lot of other people don't think of me as his mom. Society in general. I mean, most people who see me with him when we're out and about automatically assume I'm his mom, because I've been fortunate enough to transition to a point where most people see me as cisgender. And if you don't know what cisgender means, it's like biologically a woman. They think I was born female.
Okay.
So they don't see a trans person sitting there with them. They see his mom. However, the people in the neighborhood in which I transitioned, or initially, we lived together, he still lives in that same neighborhood. So when I go back, it can be a little bit difficult to have them, I don't know, just kind of be a little judgy, they just feel like, I feel like a lot of times they think I abandoned him, and it's kind of strange, because my ex and I have talked about this, and that, people seem to want the Lifetime television movie version of this.
The Caitlyn Jenner story?
The Caitlyn Jenner, they want the drama.
The Caitlyn Jenner story?
They want the drama, they do not want the reality, which is that my ex and I are actually really good friends.
Tell me some positives. Tell me what's encouraging, especially if there's any other trans even men or women,
Right, yeah.
who want to be parents,
Yeah.
what would you tell them?
As a parent, I am much more relaxed. I'm much more happy. I'm just happier with myself. And that bleeds into everything you do. It can't help but impact everything. And he's remarked about, how much he prefers me now than he did then. That, I'm just, I think, a better person. I am.
Maya has her own channel.
I do.
I'm gonna put her channel link down below in the description box. Go check her out. Please go send her some love, because she is truly, to me, amazing, a role model, absolutely courageous, brave, and living true to yourself. And I think that embodies what a parent should exemplify and should bestow upon their kids. So I'm in love with you so much. Like, so much. So please go check her out link down below.
Yeah.
And if you have more questions for her, trust me, she will answer them.
Yeah, I do.
She holds nothing back. You will probably inspire her for more video ideas.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Maya, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh my God, thank you so much for doing this video with me.
Yeah.
I hope you guys love this video. Please hit that like button if you did. I think it's just amazing to share other stories on this platform. And I'll see you guys. It is Team 2 Moms. Team 2 Moms. 1, 2, 3. Peace. All right, you guys. So I totally hope you enjoyed my first episode of my mini series of hashtag Parenting with Pride in honor of Pride Month. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Also, I'm looking for other families, 2 dads, and bi parents. I mean, it doesn't even really matter if you're part of the spectrum here. Share your story below, and who knows, I may try to contact you to see if you are willing to share your story on the Team 2 Moms platform. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please, again, comment down below, share your stories, what you thought about this, what you thought about Maya's story. As you guys know, we post on Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays, and if you don't see us, it's because we took a break because we are now a family of 5. Stay tuned for a video tomorrow with the whole family back in action. And yeah, it is Team 2 Moms. 1, 2, 3. Peace.